All right, in this video, I'm gonna go over a live session recording from February 5th, which is today. What I'm going to talk about in this video is I'm going to show you guys a short opportunity that I saw in the beginning of the day that I avoided. I'm gonna show you a long entry that I took, which is right here to the left over here. I'm going to show you my exits, and on top of that, I'm going to walk through my emotions throughout the trade because they were definitely present. I could feel the emotions, and I'll show you guys more on why and when. And then also another thing before I start the video, I'm actually going to have to cover my face cam for a few parts because my girl didn't know I was recording and she was walking around the house without clothes on. So there are some parts of the face cam that I'm gonna have to put my face now over that so you guys don't see that, but I promise that this was a real live session. And yeah, so let's just get right into it. All right, so this was the only trade I took today. It was based on a rebid setup, and I'm going to walk you guys through that in a second after I start this recording because that entry was at 9, just after 9, and I want to show you guys the whole session because there were some notable things that happened. All right, like I said, my face cam's right here. It's just, I can't be showing y'all that yet. So this is where I saw the short entry opportunity, but I did not take it. And the reason why I didn't take it was because news was coming out in like 10 minutes, or data was coming out in 10 minutes. And on top of that, it was against my daily bias, so I did not want to take it. But I read this like there was a lot of buying in the market that was not getting rewarded. I was speculating that those buyers would exit their positions. So I noticed the CVD start to create a divergence right up here. That was at 54. Normally what I would do is I would wait for this area to get tested and fail to break above that, price fail to break above it. And then I would want to see selling volume come in, and then I would want to get in when the selling volume is tested with my stop loss above where the divergence was created. So that is the setup that I would have taken. In this case, it actually sets up pretty perfectly, and I believe it works out immediately. So that would have actually been a good trade, but I didn't take it. And then one more thing to validate it even further, you can see, look at how much buying gets absorbed after the sellers come in. So that would have just been another confirmation for a trade entry. And I don't know exactly where I would have targeted, but the low a day was like, I guess 8 points away. So it would have been a smaller short-term trade anyway, but that was the short setup that I was eyeing that I did not take because of the data. And on top of that, the market was moving a little bit slow too, probably because of data. So I just stayed away from it. All right, so data released. So now I am basically open to taking longs for the day because I had a bullish bias on the day. So now I'm looking for opportunities to get long, and I don't see anything yet despite news rallying like 15 points. All right, so like I said, now the data released, I'm looking for opportunities to get long. As you can see, price just sold off like 20 points right there. And shortly what happens is we get a lot of buying volume come in. So what I did was I mark out where that buying initiated at, and I use that as my new level to see if the buyers get tested, and then if they do and it holds and it looks good still, that would be an opportunity for me to get long. So it should happen any second now. Let me just skip to it. So this is where significant buying comes in. So you can see by looking at the CVD, this is a pretty big spike in volume, right? And you can see this delta bar right here showing that buyers were coming in and coming in with size. At this point, significant buying volume just came in the market. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mark out where the buying started at, and I wanna wait and see if price retests them. And if the retest looks like it's gonna hold, or if it gets some follow through with more buying, that is when I wanna take the long, and I want to invalidate my trade thesis right below where that buying was initiated at. So in this case, I marked it out, and the buying really starts at 32.50. So here you can see price pulling back, and if you look at my face, I'm like so locked in right now, waiting to see. You can see right there, look at my trade of 8. I hesitated on a long entry right there, which was probably a good move because there was no reason to take it long yet. I believe I take it like right now. So boom, I just hit the buy button
Order
and I'm
filled.
in. I got filled for 10 MES. Oh, sorry. I got filled for 10 MES contracts right here. And the reason why I got in was because I saw a little bit of selling come in, retest right where those buyers started at, which was around 32.50. So I took an entry. I got a kind of a bad entry, but not the worst by any means, but I got filled at 35.25, as you can see up here. Stop loss is right below where the buying initiated at. And looking at it now, I probably should have had it below like 31.50, but I had it at 32.50. And you should see me zoom in a few times to really make sure that I have it right. But yeah, so I'm filled on this trade, and if you guys want to see me, I'm like absolutely caffeinated right now and just like I'm locked all the way in. Okay, so look at my face right now. You can clearly see I'm like, damn, I'm about to get stopped out. And like I'm thinking, oh, I had my stop at a wrong place. And you can actually see, I think 32.50 actually gets tapped, but I did not get filled. And my stop was at 32.50. So you can see me, I look nervous, and then I'm zooming in, making sure I have the initiation level or area correct. And while I'm zooming in, we get some more buying volume, and then you can see I look way more relaxed now. But I can tell you guys right now that in that moment, I was for sure, like you can feel, you just don't want to be wrong, right? You know how it feels if you trade. Like you're just pissed that you think you're gonna stop out. And yeah, so that's how I was feeling. You just gotta let yourself stop out. You don't take the position out early. Some buying comes in, and there's multiple points during this trade where my emotions are getting played with. So here's an example right here. So I can't show you guys my face right now, but you can see price, and price is gonna pull back. Price is gonna pull back pretty quickly, and it's gonna look scary. So I'm gonna pause it. So it looks pretty scary right now, right? But one thing that made me feel really good about this, I don't know if you can see it in my face, probably not. One thing that made me feel good was even though we pulled back, you can see that we pulled back to near where this buying started at, yet we are on the CVD trending upwards, and you're gonna continue to see that by looking at the CVD. All right, so once again, after that selling, it looks like we were bouncing, and then we get hit with more selling. Now, normally, since we rallied up about 6 points from my entry right up here, normally I would have moved my stop loss to break even, but I decided that I'm not gonna do that anymore without taking at least a little bit of my position off. So I did not move my stop loss to break even because my thesis, although it looks a little scary right now, my thesis isn't invalidated at my break even point yet. It's invalidated when these initial buyers price moves below them. So my stop loss is still the same place. I guarantee you the last year at this time, I would have had my stop loss at break even, and I guarantee you I would have stopped out right there, and I would have been pissed because got this bounce and I would be out of the position. So basically we pretty much move up, we're moving up. We get to 44 and I'm confident as shit. I like dap my girl up right there. And I'm like, all right, this one's a lock. And whatever, I go take a piss. And then, all right, so look at this. We get another pullback right here. And you guys can see my face. Hold up, let me get my face. I look pissed, right? I look like, damn, I'm about to get stopped out. I thought I was cool. And once again, price got up to like almost 10 points past my entry. Stop loss is still not at break even. I didn't take anything off, so my stop loss is going to remain where I invalidate my thesis until I take something off. So yeah, I'm visibly anxious right now. Like I don't know, I'm confident in the setup, but seeing the selling pressure scares me a little bit. But whatever, so those are just the emotions of the trade a little bit. Definitely had a little bit of a roller coaster ride on that one. Just gonna start getting to my entries or my exits because I scale out of this trade just like I did yesterday. So 3 get taken off right there. I don't know if you can hear the order filled or not. I take 3 off right there, and then I was targeting high a day, but I actually take, I think, another 2 or 3 off right around here. Okay, no, I took 1 off right here because this was just looking a little sus to me at the time. Right now, it doesn't look sus to me. I just have to be a little more patient. This was looking a little weird, but once again, like, the buying is very strong today after that initial pullback. So what I'm targeting at this point is I was targeting the high of day, and then my final target was 60.66, which was the like local high for the last 2 days. And you're gonna see me, so basically with this trade, I just keep scaling out, and I have 6 right here, as you can see by the top left. And throughout this trade, I'm like moving my limit orders up and down because I'm like too scared that they're not gonna hit, which is like an emotional decision, right? Like, one thing I'll say about this trade is the entry was good. I felt convicted. I had a clear point of invalidation, but my exits were a few of my exits were emotionally driven, and that's something that it can hinder your profit. Like on this trade, I could have had an extra $200-300 if I didn't decide to exit emotionally. Like, you're gonna see me take, see, I'm like so zoomed in, I'm staring at these orders and I'm like, I don't know, we're moving kind of slow. Are we gonna hit them? And then look, before we like really sweep those orders, I take 3 off right there, just in case. Like, I guess there's a few ways to look at it, because if you think about it, I'm up like 18 points, which is already like an above average trade for me. So like, for me to be all out around 18 points, like, there's nothing to, you can't complain about that. But I'm just fully aware that these exits are like me scared to have this thing pull back to my entry and then be out of like a really good trade. So at this point, I am all out. I forgot to, what happens is I basically am like, all right, I'm not waiting for this high day target anymore, and I just got all out. And that is how I got, so yeah, that's how I got a final profit of like 14 points. Definitely could have exited that trade better, but overall, I mean, I'm not gonna complain. That was a 5.2 R trade and my only entry for the day. So I mean, this is really what it should have looked like. You guys can see I was targeting 60.66, and had I would have like taken half off at high day and let the other half ran, I would have had probably like double the amount of money. But I mean, once again, it's a 5.2 R trade. I'm not mad about that at all. That'll be it for this recap. Give me a like, comment, and subscribe if you guys want more of these. I'll catch you guys in the next one.